Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Mayhem, the go-home show for Mayhem before the Fatality pay-per-view. My name is Darren Jacobs and I will be your commentator for this evening. We kick off tonight with Mason Foster, who has a message for the mystery assailant in the background. He claims he has now learned the name of the person and is ready to come out and address the issue. The man who has been attacking people for weeks backstage and in matches. We'll see what Mason Foster has to say about this man. For the last few weeks, there has been someone running around backstage attacking all of the WIW superstars, including me and Stephen Miller. After bragging about it for weeks in the comments, I now know his name. So I'm calling you out right now, Lachlan, for a match at Fatality, where I will represent myself, Miller, and all those who have fallen victim to your assaults and put a stop to you once and for all. Well, ask and you shall receive, because here comes the man we now know to be named as Lachlan, coming down to the ring here, and this has been the man who has attacked many people in their matches, and apparently backstage as well. We haven't quite seen any of that, but Lachlan here tonight, coming down to be, as he's been challenged by Mason Foster. And he doesn't strike me as a man who's been backing down from a challenge, although he's been quite cowardice with the way he's made his debut. He's been jumping people backstage for weeks, and Mason Foster has called him out on it as he was one of the first victims all the way back at the pay-per-view. And now, Lachlan, what does he have to say to the challenge by Mason Foster? Well, let's hand the mic over to him, I guess. Okay, you have my attention. For weeks, I have been stomping all the germs that have infected WIW. Stamping the Lachlan brand of justice here and restoring order to this place. If you don't appreciate that, then you can receive justice firsthand. I accept your challenge, but not just to any match. Let's raise the stakes and make it a fatality match. First person to knock out their opponent wins. And when I win, you better get the hell out of my way. You think that scares me? That's even better, because now I get to make history by being a part of the first ever fatality match whilst getting to knock your ass out at the same time. I accept your proposal, and when I win, you better not attack me or anyone else backstage ever again. I'll see you at Fatality. Well, there you have it. The first ever Fatality match between Mason Foster and Lachlan is going to happen at the pay-per-view. Some big words exchanged to start tonight's show, and that match will happen at the pay-per-view. Lachlan, the mystery assailant, finally named, and he will be taking on Mason Foster at Fatality. But first, here tonight, we have another WIW debut versus debut match to kick off tonight's show. And coming down to the ring first is SDC. What does that stand for, you ask? I have no idea. But he's on the way down to the ring here tonight, looking to make a good first impression. If he can, he'll be up against another debuting superstar. The rosters are really getting full up here on WIW. Even the women's division are at a point where we could split them straight out the gate, and I think we will do just that. But for tonight, he's not going to care about what's happening elsewhere. SDC's coming out here with a point to prove on his debut. And he's here to make the biggest impact that he can. And the crowd are seeming to love this quite epileptic light show that he's putting on right now. But he can go all fancy with the pyrotechnics and the lighting. But when it comes down to it, what does he have to offer inside the ring? That's what he needs to show here today. But he's up against someone who wants this match equally as badly as he does. Another debuting superstar to step into the ring. And the Illuminati triangle coming out straight away here. And making his way down to the ring, Robert Hall. We don't know too much about these guys, of course, fresh out the debut. But on the back there, I think that said the face of fear. And Robert Hall coming down with a blazing fire to the ring. Another one knows how to make an entrance. But the question is, are these entrances just all for show? Because in that ring, that's all that's going to matter here tonight for these two men making their debut. They got to show what they can do inside that ring. And Robert Hall and SDC looking to do just that here tonight on their in-ring debuts on Monday Night Mayhem. We'll have 2 more debuts on Friday Fight Night before the pay-per-view. Plan is for a double upload today. We'll see if that's possible. Probably isn't. Let's get this one on the way anyway. Oh, look at this, SDC straight out of the gate with a sling blade. And that's what you needed to get the ball rolling. Just a big move to start this one off, and then a knee to the back. The debuts are coming in thick and fast as of late, which is why it's so important that you impress straight out of the gate, and that's why a Tiger Bomb straight out of the gate definitely going to do the trick. And look at this, getting the crowd behind him here. Oh, look at that running knee! Running knee by SDC into a cover. Oh my god, what? SDC wins already. He just knocked off Robert Hall so fast. I have never... Well, I don't know if that's the fastest match ever. It clearly isn't. But I have never seen someone win on their debut that quickly. A Tiger Powerbomb and a running knee. And Robert Hall was out like a light. SDC. That was probably one of the best debuts that he could have possibly made under the circumstances. That is unbelievable what he has just done. SDC humiliates Robert Hall here tonight on his debut. And what a win for this young man, who I can already tell has got a bright future ahead of him. Let's move on to the rest of the card. Next up tonight, another called out challenge match which has been accepted. This one's going to be a big one. First man down to the ring is Stephen Miller. This came into the comment section that he challenged Aaron Albright just for the fun of it. After knocking off former World Heavyweight World Champion Rage, he's now going for former World Champion Aaron Albright. And Stephen Miller has really made a name for himself as of late. Since debuting, he's been on phenomenal form, yet to lose in one-on-one action, only with the one defeat to Jax Wolf in the triple threat match. However, that was probably the biggest loss that he could have asked for under the circumstances. However, the GM has paid attention to what Stephen Miller's been doing and has a message for Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller, the general manager, has come out and said that he has not, to this date, been challenged one-on-one. Every man he stepped into the ring with, bar maybe Rage, he has made really light work of and has proven his in-ring ability. So, at Fatality, he's still welcome to join Mason Foster at ringside for his match against Lachlan. But Stephen Miller will also be competing at the pay-per-view against a mystery opponent by the general manager. And if he is victorious, he earns himself a #1 contendership opportunity. He will be the next #1 contender for Jace's television championship if he walks out the winner of the match at Fatality. So a big message from the GM there, putting a lot of faith in Stephen Miller, but you know what? He's earned it. Before signing with WIW, he ran his mouth saying he was going to be the best, he was the real deal, and that no one was going to beat him, and so far, he's proven his point. But tonight, he's put on a hard task for himself as he goes up against former WIW champion Aaron Albright, who's getting some in-ring practice before his big WIW championship match at Fatality against Jaden, the man who of course beat Rage. And Rage has been in an incredible slump as of late, pretty much since he lost the title the first time to Aaron Albright, yet to really get back to his winning ways. And Aaron Albright, since becoming WIW champion, has been near enough unbeatable to the point where Jaden tactically avoided confrontation between him and Aaron Albright to secure the WIW championship, and of course winning with a rolling knee bar on the partially injured knee of Rage. Tactical by Jaden, you'd say? I think I'd say that Jaden's been very tactical, played his cards right. But Aaron Albright, he's going to want revenge and he's going to want his title back. And tonight he's going to prove what he can do up against Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller, a tough opponent. And he's proven that to several people, including former world champions already, and starting off with a DDT. And not wasting any time here to come out the gate swinging. Oh, look at this big counter into a Northern Lights. Straight into the cover, though. Oh, and it's only a 1 count. Okay, just getting an idea of which way this one's going to go. And Aaron Albright wants to make sure he gets into control early. We know Stephen Miller can take a hit, though. We've seen in a couple of matches, particularly against Rage, taking some big hits, but still managing to come out the victor. But against Aaron Albright, there isn't anyone that Stephen Miller's faced that Albright hasn't beaten. This year, since coming out of the trial era, he's been fantastic. He's really moved away from that cowardice persona that he had before and has really pushed himself to be the best in the roster, and he's earned that title as of late, becoming the WIW champion. But unfortunately letting it slip in the triple threat match against Rage and Jaden. And Stephen Miller, a man on the rise. He's definitely won enough to be in contention for a title, and look at that. There's a swinging neck breaker. But of course, right now with a stacked roster, he's finding it difficult. But he's not finding it difficult here tonight. Ripcord knee strike. Big moves coming out the gate here from Stephen Miller and from Aaron Albright. It's been a pretty good matchup so far. But Aaron Albright not being allowed any clear control by Stephen Miller. Another technical move there on the armbar. But this has been a great start to this battle. We knew these two were going to put on a show, and they're doing just that here. And Aaron Albright taken to the outside by Stephen Miller. And this is Stephen Miller's game. He likes to be in control, likes to control the flow of the match if he can. And look at this, not one but two ripcord knee strikes. And Aaron Albright, oh look at this, not backing down. The X Factor, the phenomenal one. He's gone by many nicknames. Aaron Albright, one of the longest serving veterans in WIW history, wrestling back when it was WYW, believe it or not. One of the greats for many different reasons, but only just capturing his first title this year, which will show you the progress that this man has made in his in-ring ability and his overall level of confidence inside the ring. But Stephen Miller not short of confidence himself, proving a real struggle here for the former WIW champion, looking to become the first two-time world champion at Fatality pay-per-view on Sunday. And look at that, massive double knees from the middle rope. And Stephen Miller is rolling here. But Aaron Albright knows how to take a hit just as well as Stephen Miller does, and could fight back at any moment, and looking to do so here from the top rope. Went for the double axe handle, but caught into a backbreaker. And Stephen Miller, is he proving to be too much for the former world champion? Look at this, there's another swinging neck breaker. This time fisherman hook of the leg. And look at this, a counter this time by Aaron Albright to the corner. Whoa, that was really glitchy, or was that just me? That was really glitchy. But now to the corner again. Look at this, Stephen Miller. Oh, look at that, discus forearm, but Albright not backing down. He still fights on. Oh, look at that, massive strike to the jaw. It got him stunned. Tries to get him up, unable to do so, and a big counter by Aaron Albright. And the former world champion refusing to back down this easy. And now look at this, he's got him in a good position here, scooping him up. Oh, big counter by Stephen Miller, reversing the powerbomb. And now a drag to the middle of the ring. Right in the middle as well, as he goes for a third ripcord knee strike. But look at this. The knees aren't proven to be effective. Oh no. Oh no, Jaden's here. Jaden is here. And if he isn't struggling enough here in this match, Aaron Albright. Oh, wait a minute, no, look at this. Look at this. Roll up, roll up. Jaden's distracted Aaron Albright. Is that going to be enough? No, it's not. It's a 2. And Jaden doing the job of distracting him there. But Stephen Miller couldn't capitalize on it. But Now he's in control again. Right for a second, we thought we'd lose it. And every time Aaron Albright gets in control, something else happens. But now look at this. Hook of the arm, looking for the DDT. No, brainbuster. I keep calling it a DDT. I'm thinking of his old one. But the brainbuster. And that could be enough to knock off Stephen Miller. No, it's not. It's a 2 count. And neither of these guys willing to stay down. But Aaron Albright dealing with other things going on in the background now. Jaden made his way to ringside to mess with Aaron Albright. But that's sparked a fire in this fight for Aaron Albright. Really looking to win this one now. And all of a sudden the comeback hype is real. And the crowd are loving what they're seeing here. And there's a stomp. The brainbuster couldn't quite work for Aaron Albright. But looking for it again. Hook of the arm. Lifting him up. And brainbuster smacked down on the head. And straight into the cover goes Aaron Albright on Stephen Miller. And no, he can't do it. It's a 2 count. And he can't believe his eyes. But to be honest, how can you not be surprised? Once again, Stephen Miller finding a way to kick out. And that has been the story of Stephen Miller's entire existence. And look at that, there's a massive uppercut. But Stephen Miller was in control for the majority of the match before the interruption. And now looking to capitalize here. He's got him in an ankle lock. But look at that, rolling through. And cleverly gets out there out of trouble Aaron Albright, who has been in control since the interruption by Jaden. It really has sparked a flame in Albright, but he doesn't want to lose control if he can avoid it. An aeroplane spin out into a cutter. And what's been a brilliant match still continues because the fighting spirit of both Stephen Miller and Aaron Albright really coming out here. Neither one wants to back down. Neither one wants to go into fatality with a loss. But it could be happening here for Aaron Albright, looking for that sit-out power tombstone. I sent to say powerbomb and butchered it again. I feel like I do that too often. And straight into the cover. 1, 2, and Aaron Albright is knocked off by Stephen Miller. Credit the assist by Jaden for playing the psychological games to help Stephen Miller pick up the win. But to be honest, I didn't see Stephen Miller losing this one with the momentum he had through the majority of this match. Aaron Albright had a really good spell after Jaden kind of sparked a fight in Aaron Albright, almost saying, is this all you've got? You're no match for me at the pay-per-view. And that sparked a flame to keep fighting in this match, but 2 massive brainbusters couldn't do it. But that sit-out tombstone pile driver proving to be very effective once again, and Stephen Miller picks up another win in singles action. And at Fatality, the general manager has promised him a challenge, but this man is ready for anything. He doesn't back down, not for a second, and Stephen Miller picks up another victory, and that's going to be a very disappointing loss for the X-Factor Aaron Albright coming into Fatality. But maybe, just maybe, Aaron Albright will be able to get his title back. Let's move on than the rest of the card. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I should be fighting for the WIW Championship. As great as I have made the European Championship, it's not what I want. But no one can take it off of me. Week after week, I beat everyone in my way. So I'm done playing mid-card. I want to be the first ever dual champion. Whoa, slow your roll there, amigo. Don't you forget that at Fatality, we got a match for your title. And I have every intention of walking away the new European champion. It is true that you have beaten everyone you have faced, but you haven't beaten me. So don't think about holding 2 titles for much longer, because after this weekend, you won't even be holding 1. That's cute, kid. Look, I have already heard the same empty promise from Brad Skeens, and all 7 of the men I beat to get the title in the first place. If you really want this title, try and take it. But just because I don't want it, doesn't mean I'm giving it away for free. So try your luck, and you may get lucky. But we all know how this ends, with my arm raised as the longest reigning champion in entire WIW roster. And there you have it, the stage is set, and look at the eyes. That is the most intense stare down I've seen between anyone. And El Estrella Chico making his claim for the European Championship. He believes he can do it, but can he knock off the longest reigning WIW champion in Jace? We will find out at the pay-per-view. Next up tonight, following that little confrontation between the European champion and the #1 contender, next up tonight, it is our WIW champion, Jaden, making his way down to the ring. Already made 1 appearance tonight, just to get a better look at what was going on between him and Aaron Albright and Aaron Albright and his opponent Stephen Miller earlier tonight. But the world champion here to make his statement here on WIW was definitely the underdog in that triple threat match, but in his mind he never was. He had a plan since the minute he knew he was going to be a part of this match, and he implemented it perfectly, and that is why he carries down to the ring the WIW Championship, the biggest prize in sports entertainment today. And that is exactly why he's coming down to the ring to test his might. He's got an opponent here tonight ready to go, ready to take on the world champ, ready to prove where he lies in the world ranking. And Jaden here tonight, here to prove he's a dominant fighting champion, and that at Fatality, he's going to be the man walking away with the WIW Championship. But he has a tough task here tonight, because he is up against Oliver Regem, who, when a match of extreme pressure is applied, he tends to struggle. But when there are no strings attached, when there's no incentive to win, that's when he seems to really show off his skill and how good he can be in the ring, which is quite confusing, to be honest. But he is a fantastic in-ring competitor, a very, very good striker off the top of my head. And unfortunately for him, just can't seem to make that final step into a title picture or into competitive matches. But tonight, what bigger way to show yourself off than to pick up a win against the WIW champion? And that is what's on stake for Regem tonight, to get to show what he's capable of at the top of the card against the top of the brand. And that's what Regem has to show tonight. He needs to show what he can do, because with a growing roster, he could get lost in the shuffle if he can't prove himself in ring. Here we go, straight out the gate. Jaden ran at him, but Regem quick to stop him there, and straight away bringing out the knees and the punches. And that's the type of style that he brings to the table. Regem, a very Jaden, a very technical fighter, likes to wear people down gradually before landing a finishing blow. And of course he has that rolling knee bar, which, yes, he tends to roll a little bit too far with, but he is a lethal weapon of his. We've seen it win him the WIW Championship. But of course he has plenty of moves in his arsenal. Look at that, was looking for Dark Matter and unable to connect. And Regem, look at this, with a big neck breaker. And all of a sudden Regem coming out the gate strong here. And now what's he thinking? Look at that, it was an awkward run up, but lands the knee. And Regem putting on a show against the WIW champion and using all of his speed to his advantage here. Going top rope, high risk, looking for a moonsault. Unable to connect, but rolls out and lands on his feet well enough. But Jaden, just with enough time to capitalize on it. And that one mistake might turn the tide in this matchup. It's not what Regem's going to want to have seen. And now look at this. Oh, spins him around with the punch. And look at this. Oh, big suplex. Big suplex there. Oh, and a kick to the gut. And now look at this. Pump handle gut buster. And there's that technical ability of Jaden, the WIW champion that we've seen. Our third WIW champion of the series. First was Rage. Then he lost it to Aaron Albright. And then that was with the assistance of Jaden, of course. And then, of course, Aaron Albright himself won the title. Then Jaden himself won the title for Aaron Albright. Look at that! What a catch! What a catch from Regem! And Jaden waited so long to land that strike that he got caught, but he manages to slip out of it. Regem unable to capitalize on that. And now look at this. Some more technical moves here. This is what we see from Jaden quite often. Just wearing him down, trying to play for the submission game if he can, but if not, land that finishing blow when it's needed. Oh, look at that. Went for the kick to gut. Couldn't connect, and Regem sends him to the corner. The referee just watching on here. Doesn't want this one to escalate out of proportion. Because, of course, Jaden has a big match at Fatality. Superplex! And Regem really putting on a show here tonight. And this is what I'm saying. These type of matches where he's just one-on-one with a guy in the ring, nothing's on the line, he really shows himself. And he might have knocked off the world champion here. A 2 count off the discus clothesline. He really shows himself in these one-on-one situations, in these type of circumstances when there's nothing on the line, where he doesn't really stand to gain much but pride for the win. But then, when the Money in the Bank opportunity is on the line, when the title opportunity is on the line, that is when Regem seems to struggle. And you can't have that kind of thing as a wrestler, because that gets you lost in the shuffle, and there's a Russian leg sweep. But look how what he's showing against the world champion right now. Really, really showing what he can do. Showing off all his skills. But Jaden, of course, still proving to be a very tough task just to keep down. And look at that. Over the shoulders there with a mini AA. And look at this. The strikes once again coming out. And a massive knee. Right to the jaw of Jaden. And into the cover. Has he knocked off the WIW champion? No, he hasn't. It's a 2 count. Very, very close 2 count. And Jaden in a little trouble here because Regem has been on fire in this one. And now begging him to get back to his feet. Oliver Regem. Look at a fly. Top rope. Cross body. And he's got that leaping ability. He has a good showing of speed and agility. But his biggest problem is unable to cash in on the win. And this is what's won Jaden matches before. Rolling knee bar. Got it. Locked it in quite a funny fashion there. I'm not sure that's going to quite do the job, and it doesn't. Didn't quite get the lock on he was looking for there. Didn't quite connect properly. But that knee bar's got him in a good position now to go on and potentially go to finish this one. And that's exactly what he's looking to do. But it looks like Regem still with fight in him. Still with gas in the tank. And now look at this. Wrenching away on Jaden now. And this is not something Jaden's used to. Jaden's used to people coming out the gate swinging. He's not used to being worn down here. But Regem doing whatever it takes to walk out the winner here tonight. Because what a big win this is for his career if he's to knock off the WIW champion. And now look at these elbows to the gut. Jaden gets out of harm's way. There's a shot to the gut. Went to a spinning back fist. Didn't quite connect fully. But look at this. There's a Russian leg sweep. With a tug on the arm as well. And look at this. Jaden's angry now. Sensing the control in his favor since the knee bar. And now look at this. Scooping him up. Oh my god. Just nearly tore his body in half with that power bomb. Kicks out at 1 though. Bloody hell. That might have just been the sharpest power bomb I have seen on this series. And now look at this. Oh, Jaden tried to capitalize, but Regem didn't let him. There's the discus clothesline again. Almost ripping his head off with it. But he's not done. He wants to put the nail in the coffin. Oh, and he might live to regret that because here comes Jaden again. Now going to wear further down on that knee. And he's done a lot of damage to the legs. You feel the rolling knee bar might do the trick here for Jaden. Or when he looked like he was going for it there. Look for the knee bar. Once again, couldn't connect. And now Regem spinning him behind for a suplex. And Regem has had majority control. But just as of now, hasn't put it away. But Jaden's not letting him put it away. Jaden putting up too much of a fight. Pump handle. Gutbuster again. Jaden's going to roll him to the middle of the ring. Going for the cover. The WIW champion. Trying to get this one done. And it's a 2 count. Jaden with a little bit of frustration here. And look at this. He's going high risk. Looking to wrap it up. Oh, what a splash from the top rope. Let's look at that one again. What connection. And we very rarely see that kind of athleticism from Jaden. But clearly he's capable of it. And the WIW champion knocks off another. No, he doesn't know. Regem kicks it too. And Jaden can't believe his eyes as he springs back to his feet. But that must have been infuriating, pulling off that beautiful move for it to not end the match. And now Regem might be thinking about doing that himself. A massive discus forearm, taking the champion down to the floor. But he's not done. There's a neck breaker. And straight into the cover off the neck breaker. 1, 2, and no! I thought the Regem had done it, but that was a very close count. But now, ready to put it away. He's in trouble here. Oh, missed the strike. He missed the strike. And look at this. And missed the second strike. A big mistake by Regem. And he might be made to pay for that. There's a backbreaker. What a fatal mistake that could prove to be for Oliver Regem. And these are exactly the type of mistakes that I was talking about before. And Jaden looking to make him pay for that mistake, and there's a suplex. And now to the top rope again. Is he looking to fly one more time? He is! Look at the athleticism on display. The aerial ability of a cruiserweight. And a beautiful splashdown on Regem. And I think that's lights out. It must be something for the WIW champion to pick up another win. Whoever holds the title seems unbeatable at times. It really does. Jaden had to work really, really hard for that victory. That was a tough one for him. But once again, the WIW champion comes out successful. And look, he'll be looking to do the same at Fatality. But a big win. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Oh no, he's not done. He's not done. Here he comes. With a chair once again. Look at this. Fans saying you're crazy, and he's, oh, look at this, Aaron Albright. There's Albright. Albright steals the chair, and he gets out. He sends Jaden out of the ring. He sends him running. Well, Albright, an uncharacteristic save there for Oliver Regem. But Aaron Albright sending warning signs to Jaden for their rematch at Fatality. Who is going to be able to pick up the victory at Fatality and walk out the WIW champion? Well, we've got one more match before Monday Night Mayhem goes to Fatality. So let's move on to tonight's main event. Well, look at this. Before the main event here tonight, Lachlan and Mason Foster running into each other backstage. Oh, look at this. And no surprise to see these two going at it backstage. This has been building up for weeks. The hostility between these two. And just look at this. These two hammering away on each other now. And no surprise at all to see this hostility between Foster and Lachlan growing. Oh, and there's a big shot. And look at this. These two trading fists now. And this is what exactly Foster would like to do. He's a good striker. And he's proven that here tonight. Continuing to dominate Lachlan here in the backstage area. Lachlan been jumping around backstage for weeks now. Attacking random people in random matches. And yet to step in the ring himself. But look at this. The fast punches and kicks coming straight at Mason Foster and now crashing him into that box. And Lachlan really doing damage here. And now look at this. All went for a knee. Mason Foster connects. Oh, there's a DDT. Beautiful counter there. And the damage well and truly being done here. Look at this. Oh, look at this. Big counter though. With the elbows to the gut. Really trying to push on here. And now look at this. It's been going so well for Mason. It hasn't been going so well for Mason Foster as of late. But Lachlan being partially the reason for that. Of course, making him lose his first pay-per-view matchup. But now all of a sudden, these two come into blows backstage. And of course, Mason Foster acting on behalf of Stephen Miller as well. That much has already been determined. And now look at this, into the office. And these two don't care where they fight. They're just wanting to, for weeks, to get their hands on each other. And that's exactly what he's doing here. Oh, look at this. A briefcase. And unable to connect on it. Oh, no. No. A back. Oh, I thought that backdrop was about to land onto the briefcase. Didn't quite do that. Unbelievable stuff here. And these two just battling backstage. Back and forth they go. And now look at this. Oh! And crashing him into that electric box there. And what's going to happen when these two meet at Fatality? I can't tell. But it is going to be one hell of a battle at Fatality. Oh, and a massive strike there with that kick. And Foster being sent a message here by Lachlan, who's been looking to send sending messages since his debut at the pay-per-view of justice. He preaches for justice and he demands justice. But look at this. This is not justice. This is just total chaos. Tearing people apart backstage and preaching for justice. It doesn't seem like a good right combination to me. But look at this. Foster looking to get his own back here. What's he thinking? Oh, look to drop him down on the box there. Couldn't quite do it. And this is escalating out of control. We really need to beef up security back here to stop these fights from going on backstage. They happen way too frequently here. Oh, and another crash into the boxes. And now look at this. The strikes again. Such a fast striker here, Lachlan. Oh, look at this. Mason Foster looking to make him pay. And a neck breaker onto the back of the knee. Oh! And a massive spinning kick. Spinning heel kick. Right to the jaw of Lachlan. And Mason Foster refusing to back down. Wanting to prove himself here. And there's a Falcon Arrow. Trying to prove just that. And the tension between these two are growing and growing. Will it reach a conclusion at Fatality? Who knows? Oh, look at that! Busting him open there by dropping his face onto the concrete in the backstage arena. And this is just unsafe, dirty fighting. Two men with equal amount of hostility towards each other, punishing each other any way that they know how. And now look at this. Mason Foster delivering a final message here. Oh, and a massive butterfly DDT. And Mason Foster sends a message to his attacker. And this is going to reach a conclusion at Fatality. But who's going to walk out on top then? I don't know. But let's actually move on to tonight's scheduled main event. Next up tonight, a very important #1 contenders match in the tag team division. It is between the Dragon Dynasty and the League of Gods. First time clashing in tag team action. They've met before in a one-on-one match between Lance, who is basically unpinnable, or at least he's proving that so far. Lance, who is unpinnable, and against Black Jesus, one of the toughest guys that we have on the roster. Real powerhouse fighter. And Lance manages to knock him off in what was a grueling match. But now, it's 2-on-2 circumstances. They've both earned their spot to fight for the Mayhem Tag Team Championships at Fatality. But only one team can do it. And Tyson Jackson hoping to lead that team to glory. Tyson Jackson has had a real turnaround since bringing Lance into the roster. did not get off to the greatest of starts. In the trial era, he was a really dominant fighter, but he came back and he let slip, and he hasn't picked up a win. He didn't pick up a win since Lance's debut, but as soon as Lance debuted, that is when things turned around for this man. And the Dragon Dynasty have been reigning terror on the tag team division, and there is no reason at all why these two aren't capable of becoming the Mayhem Tag Team Champions. But to be honest, they've got to take on the linebacks regardless of who they face. And regardless of who wins here tonight. And the linebacks are never an easy task. This is why such extensive searching was looked for to find a true #1 contender. And that's why we had this little mini tournament here on Monday Night Mayhem. But up next, a team who backs down from nobody, who believes they are unbeatable and undefeated as it is. It is the League of Gods, Black Jesus and Damas. These two kind of forming a formidable alliance as of late in tag team action, undefeated. Damas undefeated in singles action, of course, and Black Jesus only with a few losses to his record himself. They have been a formidable team, and last week picking up a big win against the Death Ninjas. And this week, looking to continue the trend, and if they pick up the win against the Dragon Dynasty here tonight, then they are in for a shot at the Mayhem Tag Team Championships. Damas and Black Jesus' second title opportunity. And of course, they've had several opportunities to get titles. Of course, they had the Money in the Bank and both part of the 8-pack challenge at the European Championship, but unable to capitalize. And now, here we go. Tag team action on the way, and the two leaders of the team, Damas and Tyson Jackson, going to start this one off. Damas, the very unorthodox style of power and showboating ability. He loves to show off, make a show for the crowd, and that's how he's made his name, and he'll do whatever it takes to walk out the winner, and he has proven that on several occasions. Black Jesus, very much the powerhouse of the group. He's a tough fighter, very devastating moveset, and can end you with a single blow if landed accurately enough. Lance, of course, the powerhouse for the Dragon Dynasty, and we have seen that a lot since he debuted. But Jackson, very much the brains of the operation. He's a very smart fighter, very tactical man. He knows how to get the job done. He's been in wrestling for years now, and he's really shown what he can do in the ring. And look at this, Damas showing that showboating style off again. He loves to do that little handstand in the headlock, and I don't know why he loves that move so much, but it seems to be one of the favoured ones for Damas. It's the first tag in the match made. In comes Black Jesus off the tag by Damas, and a double shoulder tackle to start this one off. Oh, look at that. Nearly crawled and made the tag to Lance. And I think the obvious strategy here is to keep Lance out of the ring. He's already proven too much for Black Jesus. And for Damas, who isn't quite the powerhouse that Jesus is, he could prove to be a massive problem. And there's an axe kick. And he's looking to tag him in. He does. In comes Lance. And Jesus must be having flashbacks right now to their last encounter. Jesus fought hard, fought valiantly, even landed the spinning powerbomb, but couldn't keep Lance down. No one yet has kept Lance down. And under the watching mentorship of Tyson Jackson, he has been a formidable opponent. And now look at this, showing off his strength once again with a jackknife powerbomb. And Jesus trying to crawl away to make the tag to Damas, but refusing to let up here is Lance, this massive man beast, just proving to be too much here for Black Jesus. And he still must not be 100% off of the wounds that he faced the last time these two stepped into in-ring action. And look at that, tried once again to call for Damas. Couldn't do it. He managed to slip out and does it this time. This should be an interesting encounter. Damas bringing his unorthodox style to take on Lance. And maybe that's what you need. Someone that you can't really predict what he's going to do. Or maybe Damas is about to die a painful death. I don't know. We're about to find out. Oh, wait. Maybe he's considering tagging out here. He is. Lance shows mercy. Or maybe he only has eyes to taking down Black Jesus. Maybe he knows. Maybe Jackson has said that you deal with Jesus, I'll deal with Damas. And so far doing a stellar job of it. The Dragon Dynasty in control early on. And Jackson was trying to set up something here. I'm not sure what he was going for. Decided against it in the end. Instead, looking for a double underhook. Gut buster there. And a beautiful move there. Oh, look at this. Straight back in. And a lot of quick tags coming in early from the Dragon Dynasty. Look at this. Damas looking to capitalize. He couldn't even lift him properly. And trying to crawl for the tag again. The League of Gods in early trouble. They started off really well there against when it was Tyson Jackson and Damas. But as soon as Lance came into the ring, that's when the match turned the tide. And he really is just a monstrous man. And now up on the shoulders, Damas in trouble. What's he thinking? Oh, and just crushing the ribs of Damas, who crawls once again for the tag, once again not being allowed to do so. And sent to the Dragon Dynasty corner. Looked to make a tag, couldn't do it. Oh, look at that, went for greetings for Grease there. Tried to sneak one up on him, and Damas couldn't do it. Instead, dragged to the middle of the ring. Because Lance wants to make even more of a show of Damas here. Who's getting torn apart by this monster of a man. I'm not even sure this man is human. He's an absolute beast who has yet to be stopped in singles or in tag team action. And making a mockery of Damas here tonight. And the Dragon Dynasty in complete control. And now looking to wrap this one up. Discus big boot. And the Dragon Dynasty almost picking up the win. But the save by Jesus, who is now gets receiving a code breaker to the back. A backstabber it turned into. But look at this now. Damas left to his own devices as he has to deal with both members of the Dragon Dynasty who are both still standing. And Lance, you got to imagine, has already won that match if it not been for the breakup of Black Jesus. But that's what tag team partners are for, to save you when you're in trouble. And straight back to his feet, not wasting any time here to the Dragon Dynasty corner. Might be looking for a tag. No, Damas isn't letting him have it. Look at this. Taunting right in his face. And that is not a good strategy by Damas, has to be said. Irish Whip to the opposite corner. Might have been considering a tag out, but his partner's not there. But look at this. Into a tree of woe here. And all of a sudden, Damas trying to fight back here against this man beast. Could you imagine if it's Damas, the first person to defeat Lance in ring? Oh, look at that. And his own original style of sling blade there, straight into the cover, and that's obviously not going to be enough. But Damas just trying to get out of here at this point. He's in pure survival mode because Lance proving to be too powerful for Damas. And now to the corner again, wanting to tag in Tyson Jackson here, and he does. And now look at this, these two working together again. Oh, that time working down on the arm. Oh, tried to spin him around there. Couldn't quite do it. And a DDT by Damas. Damas needs to tag out, and he does. In comes Black Jesus. And all of a sudden, signs of slipping. No, never mind. The Dragon Dynasty willing to keep in control for the majority of this match. Beautiful DDT there, straight jacket style. And back in comes Lance straight away, Tyson Jackson. Knew straight away to hand the baton over to this big man, who's basically doing this 2-on-1 at this point. Just destroying both of them, not giving them a fighting chance. But Jesus can hurt Lance. He made him bleed before, if I remember correctly. He needs to just continue what he was doing and wear him down. Can he do that? Spinning back fist! Spinning back fist! He connects! He's connected! And straight into the cover by Black Jesus. 1, 2. Oh, and it's only a 2. But that punch caught him. Did you see the reaction? Did you see the reaction from Lance? That hurt. That hurt him bad. And now all of a sudden, the control lands back in the favour of the League of Gods. And now, Black Jesus looking to wrap it up. No! Went for the spinning powerbomb and couldn't connect. And now look at this. Looking to make him pay for that big spinning back fist. Oh, look at this. Oh, nearly manages to make the tag and he couldn't do it. And Tyson Jackson looking worn out on the outside. He has hardly done anything. I mean, he has been absorbing most of the hits. Maybe that's the strategy coming into this one. But look at this. Proving to be too strong here is Lance, who is taking him on 2-on-1 and winning it, has to be said. Massive spine buster, nearly tearing him in half. Calls for his corner, he does it. In comes the tag, but Damas a little hesitant to get in and missed the spinning forearm straight away. With his partner out of the way. Look at this. Lifting him up. Oh, and there's that suplex into a cutter. One more time. But Damas, look at this. Fighting on. The crowd, some reason, getting behind the League of Gods. But just to no avail. Damas once again being destroyed by this monster of a man. And now lifting him up. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Damas for the counter, and that might be a big counter. Look at this. And a windmill uppercut. And Damas taking the time to taunt. And this is typical Damas. The mind games on display. And this is how Damas wins his matches. But I think that's only making him angrier by taunting him. But another counter by Damas. The reversal's coming out in full display here from Damas. Showing some great technical in-ring ability. And now dragging him to the middle of the ring. Damas, what's he thinking? Taunt again. Oh, and a neck snap. And now Damas. No way. Damas looking to put this away. Damas gets him up on the shoulders. Oh, wait a minute. What? The lights have just got out. I can't see what's happening inside the ring. And oh, wait a minute. What the hell? What is Rage doing here? What the hell? Rage is... Well, I don't know what just happened. The lights went out and Rage just appeared and the League of Gods are down and the Dragon Dynasty win. What just happened? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea what just happened, but the lights went out. But when they came back on, Rage just helped the Dragon Dynasty pick up the win, I think. I have no idea what Rage did in that ring, but the referee didn't see it, so you can't call disqualification. Well, I have no idea what on earth has just happened here, ladies and gentlemen. And I guess we'll have to find out later down the line, but they are the new #1 contenders for the fight for the Mayhem Tag Team Championships. And that is going to wrap up tonight's show. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.